Hello everybody, Jenna Pacelli, certified holistic health coach and yoga teacher, and I am going to be talking about the article that's on my blog right now because I know it's hard to read longer articles, so if you have less time and just want to hear me talk about it in a brief way, this is a great outlet for you. So the article is called Oral Contraceptives, Libido, Political Patriarchy, and Vedic Embryology. It's a mouthful, I know, but we are in a very interesting time in terms of women's health and rights and what that means for us. So I wanted to address it not only from a holistic health standpoint, but also from the yogic standpoint, because if you're a yoga practitioner, sometimes this stuff can be a little fuzzy for us. So the article is going to be in two parts, most likely. The first part is just about oral contraceptives or hormonal contraceptives, and which I will refer to generally as the pill. And then talking about the health effects of the pill and what you may not have heard from your gynecologist, because a lot of gynecologists don't know this stuff. So, but the research is there and the science is there, so I wanted to address it and help people see the other side of the spectrum about the pill and what it's doing to your body. So we'll talk about that first, and then we'll talk a little about that covers some of the sex drive stuff, some of the libido stuff, and then I mentioned briefly some political aspects to it, but I address more of the Vedic, the ancient yogic scripture that might support us or help us in this this concept. So on Monday, as we all know, well, maybe we don't know, the U.S. Senate ruled that some companies with religious objections can avoid the contraceptives requirement in President Obama's healthcare bill. So this is the first time ever that businesses can hold religious views under federal law. This means that the Obama administration can look for they're going to have to look for a new, different way to provide free contraception to women who are covered under the health insurance plans of companies who object to birth control. Not only that, but recently in Massachusetts, Massachusetts tried to enforce or pass a law that said protesters had to be at least 35 feet from the entrances to clinics where abortion was provided, and the federal government turned it down. So protesters can be in the faces of pretty much or very close to women who are maybe just going for an STD test, or maybe they're just going to talk to their doctor, but it's at a clinic. So the clinics are offering abortion, and the protesters are allowed to be there in full force, very close. So we have this interesting events happening in legislature right now. So I also want to talk about the fact that I've been on the pill. I've been on oral contraceptives for a long time, and recently stopped taking them because I as a holistic health coach, I started to learn about how bad they are for you. And so there's a whole story behind that you can read in the blog post. But let's just talk briefly about the effects of the pill on your body and what you can do instead of hormonal contraceptive methods, and then how to kind of balance your hormones. So if you do come off the pill or any sort of hormonal contraceptive, that you can do it gracefully and with some ease, because there will be some symptoms that go along with that. So the pill, I'm going to go through a list. So the pill alters your ability to attract and be attracted to a genetically compatible partner. So this goes back to cultural and biological anthropology, and I have a degree in anthropology, and this is fascinating to me, the fact that when we are on the pill, it literally reverses our hormonal makeup so that we are attracted to people who are more genetically like us, which is dangerous when we're dating, because we sense pheromones from men, and we can smell them and their natural scent, hopefully, if they're not wearing too much cologne, and then be able from there to say, oh, I'm really attracted to that person at a very chemical level, even if it's not conscious. So There's that aspect. And the pill also compromises your immune system and strips your body of nutrients. This is really important because malnutrition, which is just a lack of nutrients, not necessarily calories, because you can be obese and be malnourished. When the pill strips your body of these nutrients, and that is a huge, there's a huge cause or link between not getting the right nutrients in enough quantity of those nutrients, and things, preventable disease like cancer, diabetes, stroke, heart disease, things like that. So we want to, if you're coming off the pill, it's important to supplement and eat lots of fresh fruits and vegetables so that you can you're going to have to really give your body a lot of nutrients as you come off the pill, and if you're on the pill, especially if you're on the pill, because your body's not absorbing it just because of the way the pill works. Third, it dampens your sex drive. So if it makes sense, right? Because you're not ovulating, there's less of a need then to conceive. And so that puts us in a place of like, well, if I don't need to conceive, then why do I need to have sex, right? That's the whole point. So that's the third. And it can severely affect your fertility later in life. And this is not what my OBGYN told me when I went in to her probably, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, and was like, I'm kind of worried about this. Like, what do you think? And she, that was at the time, that's all I knew, was to ask my gynecologist, right? That's what you do. And she's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's like being pregnant all the time. So it's good. It's healthier. What? That's literally what she told me. So, be aware of that. A lot of OBGYNs are going to say, no, it's fine, it's okay, but there are a lot of, it does affect your fertility later on. Women really struggle sometimes to have children and conceive after having been on the pill for a long time. Fifth, it puts you in danger of, again, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, blood clots, and stroke. I have an old friend from high school died from her birth control. And it's really sad. It's kind of crazy. And so we need to be aware of this. It's a very real possibility. Like the pages and pages of side effects, if you just are telling, and then on top of that, if you Google lawsuits about oral contraceptives and hormonal contraceptives, you're going to find a lot. It's just not talked about. And then finally, it keeps your body in a constant state of stress. So excess estrogen in the body is actually very stressful, and normally we have level and a balance and a flow, a rhythm of progesterone and estrogen, and when you just are pumping the body with estrogen, which is kind of what happens when you're on the pill, the nervous system is stressed and taxed constantly. So be aware of that. It really puts us into overdrive and ambition and motivation, which can be exhausting. Especially in maybe parts of your body that you're not aware of and you're not connected to. So what to do? My suggestion is to try to avoid these hormonal contraceptives and go with more natural route. So a really amazing way of doing this is the fertility awareness method. So it has about a 98 to 99% effectiveness with perfect use. So you have to really learn how to do this. You need to be motivated. I think it's safe for me to say you need to be mature because this is a big deal. Like you're naturally charting your cycle and when you're most fertile, and your body is very much in a rhythm. Unless you're eating lots of animal products, organic or non-organic, your hormones going to be out of whack anyway. So if you're going to use this, I definitely recommend reducing your animal product consumption. But again, you need to be coached and trained to do this, and there are people out there that can help you, and I put some links there. And then you also need to use a barrier method in conjunction with fertility awareness method when you're in your fertile period. So, and I list some methods and their effectiveness in this article as well. And then the pill itself, the actual pill, its effectiveness with perfect use is 99%. But it comes with all of these really tough side effects that I talked about earlier. So some tips on balancing your hormones after going off the pill and retaining and kind of retraining your body to ovulate again, because sometimes women will come off the pill and they won't get their period for a long time and they can't have kids. So my biggest thing, I think, is go vegan, at least for a while. When I was off the pill a long time ago, I wasn't vegan, and I didn't get my period for 6 months, which is kind of scary, right? And then when I went off the pill more recently, and I'm never going to take it again, which is, my body re-regulated itself literally within a month. So I'm amazed, and the only difference was non-vegan, vegan. So that's amazing. And I also, you can eat hormone regulating foods like avocado and maca. Maca is a natural, it's a superfood that's going to help you regulate your hormones. Cut out the crappy processed food, please. Sugar, fried foods, trans fats, hydrogenated oils, anything that's processed, different from how it came out of the ground, cut it out. That's what I help people do. So if you feel that you need help with that, I can help you. Exercise and stay active, obviously, very, very important. Drink a lot of water. Anywhere from 3 to 4 liters of water a day is great. Reduce your soy intake. It contains a lot of estrogen. We were talking about estrogen before. And then if you don't go vegan, drastically reduce your intake of animal products. Animal products, even organic, have very high levels of hormones in them. And then take time for rest and relaxation. So let your body heal. It really is a healing process after being on any sort of hormonal contraception. So that being said, tomorrow I'm going to talk more about the religious, political, and spiritual implications of oral contraception, and place a strong emphasis on what the yoga tradition says and what we can tell from ancient Vedic scripture, which are some of the oldest documents on earth. So I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoy reading the article, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.